Welcome back to another episode of the Natty Teacher. I'm, of course, your host, the Natty Teacher. And today, we got some quads. Quad bias leg day. I'm jazzed up about it, man. I cannot wait. It's going to be some great stuff, man. Absolutely. Can't wait. So, the only thing that I will have that is a little bit different today is my exercise selection, or excuse me, not exercise selection, exercise order, the order of execution for my exercises today. Same exercise selection as normal, I should say, just in a little bit of a different order because I've been watching my footage back and I've been feeling it physically. My barbell squats, while I really want to keep barbell squats in, so I'm going to because I just enjoy them, I really do now. So I want to keep them in. But I noticed that my form was starting to slip a little bit, and I was using a lot of glute drive, kicking my glutes like back, when I'm trying to drive the weight up instead of really just focusing in and using the exercise to blast the quads, which is why the whole reason I put it in anyways. So the plan is now to mix up the order a little bit. So what you guys will see will be something along the lines of this, is my guess. I have a single leg extension, 1 to 2 working sets there. We'll have a hack squat, most likely 2 working sets there, maybe 3, depending on how we're feeling. Then we'll have our barbell back squat, some high rep close foot leg press to follow that, and either dual leg extensions or another unilateral variation for leg press, one of the two, depending on where we're at for how the knees are feeling, how the legs are feeling, how burnt out we are at that point. So yeah, and then a little bit of calf work at the end. So my voice is basically gone still. Throat is thrashed from the last couple days of talking so much. So, yeah, man, we're going to leave it at that. So the top set of my first exercise, again, some single leg extensions. Ads coming at you right about now. As promised, single leg extensions. Okay, now this was actually my second set here. I had already done a top set of 12 repetitions per leg. So this one I believe was 10 reps per leg. Felt really good. It was nice to get back to starting my quads with like a single leg movement like this. Now I took a cue from the man, the myth, the legend himself, who is John Jewett, man. Can't wait to see his package to the Olympia this year. It's gonna be awesome. I'm a huge fan of John Jewett. One thing that a little cue he utilizes for his single leg extensions is slightly turning the toe in, and I have found that does kind of straighten out the knee a little bit and just bias a little bit of a different portion of the quad than when you just keep your toes pointed towards the ceiling. Felt really good, nice and controlled. So 2 working sets there. Then we have hack squats. This is our top set of hack squats here. So you'll see here I'm getting real nice and low and then sitting in the hole, okay? You'll also notice that I have, over the past few weeks, made sure to adjust my foot placement so that those heels stay glued to the pad, at least for the best that I can, to the best of my ability. But you'll watch them, man. They're glued to the pad, man. So that mobility is getting better and better. And we are really getting stronger and stronger at these hack squats here. So kind of just slowly chipping away at adding not only more weight, but really making sure those reps stay nice and tight and clean with that weight as well. So again, we did 2 working sets here. This was our top set. We did a total of 8 reps. And then we dropped down, really not even that much, only dropped like 20 pounds and did that for a set of 11. So again, just really gravitating in between that 8 to 12 rep range. So it's exactly where we want to be for the majority of our movements in our training sessions right now. Found that keeps me feeling good. The joints and tendons and all the stuff, including the muscles, of course, feeling nice and healthy when I stay within that rep range. So then went to barbell squats. Now you'll notice the load is significantly less here, but the actual process of this squat is significantly more difficult. So it's kind of hard to see because the feet cut off at the bottom. So I apologize for that. So I'll at least run you through what I'm doing. You can kind of see a little bit in the mirror here. I'm essentially pretending like I'm on a Smith machine. The whole goal of this barbell squat is, and it's a great cue to use if you're really working on deep quad bias barbell squats here, not only do you want to drive those glutes straight down, but a really nice little cue, because you can literally physically feel it, is I am literally sitting my hamstrings right onto my calves. So I can feel my hamstring touch my calf, and that is when I know that I have made it very far down, okay? Now, my depth with my heavier squats when I was starting my previous workouts was fine, but I was driving a ton with the glutes, and I talk about that a little bit more in the outro as well, but just as a little foreshadow, I guess. I was driving way too much with the glutes and really was, of course, hitting the quads, no doubt, but not hitting them in the way that I would want to hit them. So, anyways, excuse me. To remediate that, ended up moving my squats later into the session and really using a appropriate load here. Again, keeping in that 8 to 12 rep range. This was a set of 12, and then we utilized this weight again for a set of 10 and got really deep and didn't bounce out of the bottom, sat all the way down to the bottom. You can see a little bit of glute drive there as I'm obviously fatiguing here later on in the set. But again, really sitting in that hole in that really tough position, and then coming straight up and out. Dude, it is it's gruesome. So, the voiceover cut off there, my bad. Still had one exercise to go. What you're going to see here is we got some close foot leg press, again, really trying to bias those quads. I know that some people are, no, it doesn't matter where your foot placement is. I have found for me, having some real long limbs, real long legs in particular, that keeping my feet pretty close together has really helped me develop my quads, and getting those really extreme depths. That has 1000% helped me develop my quads. So I'm going to continue to do it. If it doesn't work for you, dude, don't do it. That's totally fine. So again, what we're really trying to do here is I'm literally picturing driving my heels essentially back into like my glutes, really getting deep, sitting in that, position at the bottom, not bouncing out of the bottom, but fully stretching those quads under that load and then pushing up and out. We ended up going up like 20 pounds from last week. Pretty hefty jump, and that felt good. And usually this is like my third exercise too, and this was today our fourth. So I was feeling nice and strong on these for the really great depth, or with really great depth, excuse me. We did a 2x12 here. So again, usually I like to keep these in that 10 to 15 rep range. So we fell exactly where we wanted to fall for every single one of our sets today for quads. No additional calf training. Again, I did do 6 working sets of calves yesterday. So we do have calves and abs tomorrow. And then that will also mean we have calves and abs on Friday. Usually I try to alternate those days, but this week it's just how the schedule worked. So anyways, man, grinding out these last few here. Usually I do these in double time so you can actually see the actual speed of these this week, so that's cool. But again, nice and controlled on the way down. Sit in the bottom, get that full stretch, and come up out of the hole hard, okay? I will catch you all in the outro. Leg A session complete. Man, that was a bodybuilding quad workout if I've ever done one, man. That was awesome. That was great stuff. My quads are absolutely freaking fried after that one. 8 total working sets. That's all it took. I mean, 8 actually, honestly, for direct actual working set quad work, 8 working sets ain't nothing to bat an eye. You know what I mean? That's a decent amount of good heavy work there. So here, I'll turn down sorry, I can just picked up on the fact that the fan was blowing really hard. But I'm proud of myself for one particular thing in today's workout. Really proud of myself, actually. And you should have those moments where you are proud of yourself, by the way. So make sure you take those moments and celebrate when you do something that is beneficial to you. When you do something that is, going to better you as a bodybuilder, weightlifter, health enthusiast, whatever you classify yourself as, okay? And the one thing that I did that I know for a fact will absolutely make me a better bodybuilder is I dropped the ego with my barbell squats and did them in bodybuilding fashion, okay? Dropped the weight pretty significantly. I did move them much later into my workout. Usually I start, like lately I've been starting with barbell back squats, but I moved them now third in my training session. So they were my second to last exercise. So it was some single leg extensions with a relatively heavy load, really focusing on that squeeze. Hack squats, barbell back squats, and then my close foot leg press. So with my barbell back squats, I know I talked about this a little bit in my video, in my voiceover, but with my barbell back squats, I really was focused on keeping those feet pretty close together. and really sitting my hamstrings onto my calves. So really just sitting down and then stopping, and not like really trying to refrain from that double bounce, you know, that little bounce at the bottom where you kind of go down and then sit and then kind of bounce down again and come up. Really trying to refrain from that and just push up out of that hole with the quads. And man, it worked like a charm. It was some of the toughest, probably the toughest as far as like physically challenging squatting I've ever done. I would highly recommend it to anybody out there. Actually felt really good on my knees. You know, the barbell squats I'd been doing lately, I noticed were starting to tax on my knees a little bit. You know what I mean? I was moving up pretty quickly in strength, and my depth was still good, but I was really driving with my glutes, really not getting as much, you know, actual quad work as I would want. So I'm like, I gotta fix this. And so I brought the feet in a little closer, really sat the hamstrings down on the calves, and just sat there in the hole and then drove up and out. And man, it worked, like I said, like an absolute charm. Awesome stuff. So I dug it. It was awesome. That's absolutely how I'm going to continue to squat. Again, it is a lightweight as far as, like, you know, weight goes. It's, you know, not super heavy, but it is unbelievably challenging. And as a bodybuilder, that's the whole point. I ain't a power lifter. I'm not trying to go for a 1 rep max. I'm not trying to just barely break 90. You know what I mean? Even though that's okay if you do that. I am really trying to focus on becoming an incredibly proficient, deep squatter with a lot of weight on my back and really driving up primarily with the quads. And that's exactly what I did today. And I couldn't be more happy with the results from that. So that was exactly what we wanted to do. Okay. So, anyways, I'm on my way to pick up my kid. We got like a tornado blowing in here, man. I don't know what's going on here. We have some crazy weather here coming in right now in Michigan, man. It is like starting to pour like a son of a gun, and it got real cool out real fast. It was like 90 degrees. And now it's like 70 something degrees, so you guys might be able to hear that rain. If you hear that like slapping noise, that's rain. So it's coming down pretty hard here, man. So got to drive careful. I'm going to cut the video here in a sec. Make sure you like and share the video. Drop a comment below with any questions or feedback you might have for me. I really appreciate it. If you have not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. You know, so you can see this ugly mug on the daily. And if you don't want to, I don't blame you. So, anyways, I appreciate you watching regardless. But make sure you tune in tomorrow. We have our second push day of the week. Feeling good too. I can feel those muscles actually have recovered pretty solid since my first heavier push session on Sunday. So excited to get in there and rock some push out tomorrow afternoon. But for today, I'm the Natty Teacher. And this episode of Road to Natty Pro, as we continue to chip away, is out. I will catch y'all on the flippity flop.